Hello, this is Matthew for Technomicon Media, and this week's Game Tech review features Infinity Blade for the iPad. Infinity Blade is a touch-based hack and slash for the iPad. Infinity Blade makes great use of the iPad's touch-based system with heavy synergy between action combat and the swipe-based nature of attacks. One of the key features of the gameplay is exploration. Exploration shown here shows via swiping that the player can maneuver around the map as well as to acquire items. Here you can see panning done through swiping left and right. The reason why exploration and panning around becomes such an integral part of Infinity Blade is many items that the player comes across have to be acquired quite quickly because of the nature of the linear progression, and a player may only be given a few seconds to acquire items as they progress through the map. Combat in Infinity Blade, in conjunction with the iPad's UI, is a very action-oriented process. Players using the swipe-based technology get to make offensive and defensive moves based on the directions of their swipes, as well as the combination of swipes and taps. As the player progresses through Infinity Blade, the content pretty much stays very linear in terms of it's all a series of these one-on-one duels, which become progressively harder as the player progresses through the content over and over again, thus sort of playing into the name of Infinity Blade. The leveling up process is actually quite complicated in a good way in terms of Infinity Blade and how it handles it. As you can see here, items gain experience just as you gain experience, and items become mastered as you progress through the game, and the mastery system is actually quite involved, and they put a lot of thought into it and adds a fair bit of depth to the gameplay. And as items are mastered, they add to the player's overall performance. In conjunction with the leveling up system is the armory system in Infinity Blade, which is also quite involved and very rich and adds a lot of gameplay to the overall experience. As players level up and master items, there is an in-game shop that players may buy new items from in order to equip and thus gain experience points and eventually master these items and become more powerful because of it. For the full review of Infinity Blade for the iPad, visit us at www.technomicon.com. And once again, this is Matthew for Technomicon Media saying thank you for watching.